Welcome back to my channel. So today is Meal Prep Sunday. I'm going to be doing 4 crock-pot freezer meals. The first one on the list is going to be chicken and dumplings. For this recipe you will need 2 chicken breasts cut into chunks, or you can add more depending on your family size. I did 2.5 of the large boneless skinless chicken breasts. You're going to need 2 cans of cream of chicken soup. You're going to need a cup of water. You're going to need 1 cup of diced onions, any color. I prefer the red onions. You're going to need 1 cup of diced carrots. You're going to need 4 tablespoons of butter, and you're going to need a half a teaspoon of black pepper and 1 teaspoon of thyme. And your crock-pot freezer meal, you're going to need your freezer bags, 1 gallon size. I pre-labeled them, and you're going to add all the ingredients into the bag. I pre-diced my chicken, and for all my meals I put the chicken in the bag ahead of time, washed my hands real good so I don't have to keep washing them in between meals. So we're going to start out by adding our onions, your cup of carrots, your thyme and pepper, your butter. It's easier if you pre-soften your butter. It will mix in a lot better that way. Then you're going to need your 2 cans of cream of chicken soup. Now I like to add my water last because I like to pour it in the can to sort of rinse it out to get any remnants of leftover cream of chicken soup. So I'm going to pour half the water in this can. Now, an easy way to do this is to actually sit your bag inside of a Kool-Aid pitcher when adding your ingredients. I just did that with the chicken. So now I'm going to add the water, and I usually like to add it into the can and stir it up to get all that leftover soup that's in the bottom of the can, and then you're going to pour that in. Then you're going to ziplock your bag, and you want to squeeze it to get as much air out of it before completely filling it. And then you want to just lay it flat and mix everything around. I call it jushing. Mix everything around, and that's your first meal, your chicken and dumplings. And you're going to want to freeze that in when you're ready, you can take it and let it thaw out the night before, or you can actually add the entire contents into your crock pot. I use crock pot liners for easier cleanup. And when you cook this, you're gonna cook this on high for 5 hours or low for 3.5 hours. And then 15 minutes before it's completely done, you're gonna add 1 cup of milk and a can of biscuits diced into 4 pieces. And then you can just add salt and pepper to taste. So that is meal number 1, chicken and dumplings. And for our next meal, we're going to be doing creamy Italian chicken. For that one, you'll need 2 chicken breasts cut up in strips. You're going to need 1 can of cream of chicken soup. You're going to need an 8-ounce block of cream cheese and 1 pack of dry Italian dressing. So for that one, you're going to just repeat the same steps. I pre-cut my chicken. Now the chicken should be in strips, 2 breasts, more depending on your family size. You're going to add your dry Italian mix, your cream of chicken soup. Now this one doesn't call for water, but I'm going to add just a little to get the rest of the chicken soup mix out of the can. Waste not, want not. Now I just love doing these meals. It's a really good thing for me and my husband, who has very busy work schedules. You can just come home and pop it in the crock pot, or you can pop it in the crock pot the evening before for the next day. And then you're going to add your cream cheese. You're going to drop that in. And then you're going to ziplock that bag as well. Get out as much air as possible. Now you can serve this dish over rice, noodles, even mashed potatoes would be, I think would be good also. And again, you're gonna just that one around as well. I usually give it like a good massage to break up the cream cheese, so it'll all mix in pretty good. So that's meal number 2, creamy Italian chicken. And you're going to let this one cook on high for 4 hours, on low for 6 hours. And again, you could serve it over mashed potatoes or some sort of pasta. So that's meal number 2. And so for this next dish, we're going to be doing cilantro lime chicken. You'll need 3 chicken breasts, 2 bushels of cilantro. I pre-chopped my cilantro. You're going to need the juice from 5 limes. My sous chef juiced the limes for me. You're going to need some garlic powder, chicken broth, and you're going to need some onions, cubed. I use, let's see, 3/4 cups of onion. I didn't want a cup of onion. And then 1/3 or more of teriyaki sauce. So I'm going to start out by adding 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. It says a cup of onions, but we don't like a lot of onions, so that's why I'm only using, what is that? 3/4 cups of onion. You're going to want to add your cilantro. Now you can add as much cilantro you like, depending on the taste. It called for 2 bushels, but I only use a half a bag of 1 bushel. And then your juice from 5 limes, your teriyaki sauce. I think I'm going to add a little bit more of the teriyaki sauce. It's pretty tasty. So I added 2 1/3 cups of teriyaki sauce. And then you're going to add your chicken broth. Now it says add enough chicken broth to cover completely. I'm only covering it halfway to freeze it, and then the day that I cook it, I'll add another half a container of the chicken broth, which would be 16 ounces. You're going to squeeze to let all your air out. You're going to want to juice that. Make sure your bag is zip-locked tight, so when you're moving it around, it's not leaking out. And then when you're ready to cook this, it's going to be the same steps. 4 hours on high, 6 hours on low. So that is meal number 3. Now when you're freezing these, you're going to want to lay them flat to freeze. I usually add a sheet of parchment paper in between each stack, so when I'm ready they don't stick together. So this is meal number 3, cilantro lime chicken. And for this last meal is chicken Alfredo Tortellini. You're going to need 3 to 4 chicken breasts, depending on your family size. I use 2 chicken breasts since it's just me and my husband. I pre-labeled my bag. You're going to need 3.5 cups of the Alfredo sauce. Let's see, where's my cup here? 3.5 cups of Alfredo sauce. Salt and pepper to taste, which I'm going to add that on the day that we eat. And then you're going to need 4 cups of 3 cheese tortellini. Now you're going to add all your ingredients, your chicken, your Alfredo sauce. That part you will freeze. And when you cook your meal, you're going to cook it on high for 4 hours, low for 6 to 8, and you're going to add your tortellinis 15 minutes before its time is up for cooking, for the last 15 minutes. So this is the type of tortellini I'm getting. It's the 3 cheese. Actually, mine is the 5 cheese tortellini. Asiago, ricotta, mozzarella, Roma, and Parmesan cheese. So it says 3 cups of tortellini sauce, 3.5 cups. So this is a half a cup. So I'm going to add 7 of these. I could have just dumped the whole jar in. That would have been smarter. That's 6. Now I have 2 different types of Alfredo sauce here. I have, well, this one is creamy Alfredo, and the other one is home style. So that's 3.5 cups right there. Same thing, you're going to get as much air out of the bag as possible. And you're going to dish that around. I'm going to just add the rest of that jar. It can't hurt. It's only a little bit left. And that is meal number 4, Chicken Alfredo Tortellini. So here are your final 4 meals ready to go into the freezer. It's your cilantro lime chicken, Chicken Alfredo Tortellini, which you're going to add your tortellinis 15 minutes before you're ready. 15 minutes before time is up. Your creamy Italian chicken, and your chicken and dumplings, which you're going to add a cup of milk and 1 can of grand biscuits cut up into 4s 15 minutes before time is up. These are your 4 crockpot freezer meals. Again, I like to layer a sheet of parchment paper like this in between each meal. When I layer them on top of each other in the freezer, make sure you lay them flat. If you're not laying them flat, you probably don't have to worry about the parchment paper. And again, make sure you get all of the air out of your bags. So thank you for watching this video. Comment, like, subscribe to my channel. If you enjoy seeing videos like this, leave me a comment below. I will be trying to do crockpot freezer meals maybe every Sunday, every other Sunday, depending on how fast I use up the meals, because some days we do go out, so I don't really cook a meal. So thank you for watching, and again, subscribe to my channel and leave me a comment below.